Hello, welcome
Hi,
to the PNW.
the great outdoors
Yep.
in our backyard, I guess.
This video is just about as recent as it gets for us.
Yeah, I mean, most of you know that our bus adventure videos, as well as our bus conversion series, was filmed in the past.
Yeah.
Much of it during the first leg of our bus life journey, but this all was filmed just this last week.
Yeah, so that's pretty fun.
So if you've been interested in hunting us down and murdering us and chopping us into pieces, now's your chance.
But we will throw our dog at you, and you do
Yeah.
not want to mess with him right now.
We do have a man-eating dog, so you've been warned.
Yep.
You know, I personally am really enjoying being up here in the forest, scrubbing poop off the floor, and
We're getting paid for this.
we're getting paid for this, and everything has its wins and its losses, but it's great just to be kind of our own bosses up here and get to enjoy nature at its finest.
Yeah, and it's nice and quiet up here, and, obviously cell phone service is
Not
not
there.
available. So it's kind of just a good reminder that if you're stressed about what's going on in the world, as you should be, it's also okay to take a break every once in a while.
Yeah.
And just mentally reset.
All the problems of the world will still be there when you come back.
Yep.
All right, enjoy.
Enjoy.
So part of the new camp hosting position that we have, it's off-grid. So, not that we haven't been doing it already, but we're going to have to go 2 weeks basically before doing grocery runs. And this time we don't have a convenience store across the street. I mean, the nearest store to us is going to be 40 minutes away?
Yeah.
So it's going to be really different. This is Gideon today. I think we're sticking with that name. He recognizes it,
Yeah, I think it suits him.
and
I like Giddy.
it's a little biblical for my taste, but Gideon, it rolls off the tongue nicely. Look how big these feet are. I don't even know if I can get this on video. Look how big this foot is. It's ginormous. I've got smaller hands, but I mean, still. He's a good dog. He just chills. Nice. He's a little rowdy from time to time. Put a ball in front of his face. Wow. It's very windy. This campground is $10 a night, and they do have fire pits. Most of them are covered with trash bags, so there may be a fire ban currently. Somebody may have broken the rules because theirs is uncovered. Yeah, it's actually, wow, full. This sign had been knocked over by the wind, so I just stood it back up, but clearly it's supposed to be out. He's thrilled to be outside of his cone.
Yes, he is.
There's also little bugs around, and he's trying to bite them out of the air. Running into a small hiccup here. It does say no RV camping, even though on iOverlander it says, which is an app that a lot of travelers use, it did say RVs are allowed. And it's strange because there's nicely flat paved areas where you can park your rigs. This is also one of those places and why a lot of people will actually carry a tent with them in their bus, because you can just set the tent up outside and then sleep inside. So if somebody comes by checking to see if you're tent camping, then there's an actual tent up and you can say, yeah, I'm sleeping in the tent. But I just don't understand why you wouldn't allow an RV to be parked here when clearly it's a beautiful campground.
Yeah,
Oop, all these bugs to eat.
He
Whoa!
didn't get his
He
ball.
scared me. He was trying to eat a bug out of midair right in front of the camera. Oh, wow, they're everywhere.
Ew.
Whoa! Get us out of here!
Oh, am I in a swarm?
Whoa, we're in a
fuck is
swarm right
happening?
now. I don't know what these are. You can see the swarm over this bush here. I don't know what they are. They're not mosquitoes. The water's real high right now. Rather peaceful out here. It's crazy that there's so much desert in Washington State. It's beautiful, but we've had our fair share of desert for 7-8 months now on the road. Well, it's a shame they don't allow RVs to stay here because this is a beautiful spot. We may just take the risk and stay the night since we're just traveling to Yakima in the morning. But, you know, you just never know. Wowzer. Sunset is looking fleek. We have seen 3 rainbows this week. We have seen 3 rainbows this week, and this is a beautiful sunset. It is the summer solstice, and like I just take these as really good positive signs of things to come. And you know, we're kind of stepping away from one part of a journey, really launching a new chapter by going to the forest and just having adopted Gideon and have a ton of new adventures with a new friend ahead. And just thanks for watching. Really appreciate you guys being here and the support. If you haven't taken a look at our description, check out our Patreon page. Then we got a ton of different ways you can support the journey, so thanks. Well, this is the road into the campground. Here's our spot. It's so silent. It was a 43-ish mile drive from Nashish, which is the closest small town. Monica, where'd you go?
Right here.
Oh, hi. It smells so good.
It smells amazing.
Here, you want to lock it and you can get the doggy out here and you can smell and have his first pee in the forest.
Wow.
Well, what do you think so far?
Welcome home, bud.
So many cool smells.
Oh, it's nice and cool up here. You're gonna love that.
If you, oh my God, that pine cone is huge.
One of the biggest pine cones.
I've never seen a pine cone this big. What? Is this even real? It's so crazy. You can see just snow-capped mountains off in the distance. It feels wonderful here. It's going to be so much better than the high desert throughout the summer.
Oh yeah. Come on. Come on. Good
Almost. Wow, I
boy.
can't
You
believe
didn't get it?
you fit underneath there. Oh, there it is. It came out the back.
Oh.
Try and get it. I can't believe you got underneath the bus. Maybe you can do the oil change for me. Like, don't really even know what to say right now. I'm like utterly happy. This is probably the happiest I have been on this trip since like starting out bus life, honestly. It's just been so long since we've been in the forest. It's been like 8 months of high desert and desert. And I just wish I could package the smell and deliver it to you guys right now. The pine trees smell so amazing. There's a calm here that I just haven't had in my life for quite some time. You know, one chapter closes, another one opens, and I think this is exactly where we're supposed to be right now, and just really grateful for that. It's night 1. We just made our first round of the campgrounds, replenished some toilet paper and a few of the toilets, took a few complaints down. There was some rowdy, unwanted, non-paying campers here before we got here, and so I kind of had to kick them out, but no harm, no foul. Nothing came out of it, and they're now gone, so there's going to be some happy campers tonight. So I just had massive deja vu while I was sitting here starting the fire. And I really just feel like I'm in my happy place. Like, I almost feel like camp hosting was like made for me from an occupation standpoint. And just really excited for what's to come. Who hasn't gone potty today? I think you only have 4 more days left of the cone, okay? So sorry, but you can't lick your balls. Or what used to be your balls. How you doing? Oh, you gonna kiss you? He's very loving and very large. Well, duty called, literally. And I had a camper come up and say that the toilet paper is out in 2 of the toilets, so I had to go run toilet paper around the whole campground. And luckily, I'm back to enjoy my fire. Day 1 in the books. Well, we're really starting to settle in. Monica set up the shower tent because there's a lot of passerbys. Gonna get cleaned up. This dog wasn't very nice to a lady that came up earlier today. Got a lot of training to do this summer with this boy. 99% of the time he's super sweet, but he's a little skittish around certain new people and certain dogs. Look at that. My lip got like really dry. I don't even think it's a cold sore. I swear I don't have herpes. So Monica and I took the better part of today just getting used to the rounds and the lay of the land still. We did our first big round of reservation tags where you fill out, the camper's last name, when they're going to be camping through, that sort of thing. And we have to hand out information, our campground rules, be bear aware information to each camper in the evenings after our new arrivals have come. And now we're just setting up a fire. Monica's walking Gideon right now and getting to the relaxing time. Oh, what you got there, sir? You bringing it to me or are you holding on to it?
That's mine, buddy.
Yeah, that's his. That's his reward for pooping and being.
He went twice.
Wow.
One day. Both numbers.
These are the largest pine cones I have ever seen anywhere, too, for the record. I just
Boy.
They're really great chew toys. If I would have known, I wouldn't have spent the $60 on chew toys for him at Petco.
Yeah, right?
Can you bring it to me? Ooh, good catch. Good boy.
Welcome.
All right, lay down. Let's get cozy.
Good boy.
Sir, we're hanging out over here next to the fire. Would you like to join your humans? I have to warn you, if you ever find yourself attracted to someone who is red-headed and decide to have a relationship with them, one drawback is the mosquitoes love them to death. So at some point you will be left alone at a wonderful campfire by yourself. It's just kind of the price you have to pay for all the great and beautiful things that come besides that. You get him? He's a pretty good catch. He usually gets them.
Look what we got going on here. Good old-fashioned do-it-yourself oil change. How's it going under there?
Hi, I'm Cole. I'm your mechanic today.
That's a stretch.
Pretty good. I almost couldn't get the oil pan unscrewed because it was so on there, but luckily I purchased a brand new pair of vice grips that were able to give me enough leverage. And so I've successfully drained the oil so far, so hopefully I can get the oil filter off and this can be a successful oil change in the middle of nowhere. Okay, this is gonna be messy, this part.
Is it a hand What'd they say to hand turn?
Hand turn the oil filter back on a half
Gotcha.
turn. This is gonna get messy here in a second. Oh, not that much actually. Cool. I have successfully completed my first ever oil change and it feels really good. I would advise though that you pick up a little extra oil than what the capacity of the oil bay calls for, I guess. We actually just ended up purchasing a little less than what we needed. So the first thing we need to do when we bop into town is pick up an extra quart or two of oil to top it off. But yeah, it went pretty dang smooth for the first time. I didn't even get any oil anywhere, which I'm like super thrilled about. All right, we're abandoning our post and we're gonna go walk down to the boat access with the dog.
See how this goes.
We are gonna be picking up trash down there, so it's not like we're not working. These pine trees are ginormous. I will say I haven't seen any as quite wide in the trunks as in even the Smoky Mountains. There was a few near Cades Cove that we saw that were just absolute monsters. See if we got ourselves a water dog. Oh, he seems a little hesitant so far. Oh, okay, never mind. He's so hesitant. Ooh. Oh, he's going back for round 2, I think.
Oh yeah, totally gonna be a swimmer.
Yeah, I think so too after that.
Usually dogs are like, jump right back. Wow, it was fun. I would totally let him, but I don't want his junk to get wet.
Oh, that's true. I forgot about his stitching. Oop, thirsty. Dogs are funny. Right behind this big mountainside here is Mount Rainier hiding its head. So, I really don't even know where to start here, but we are discovering that Gideon clearly was previously abused before we adopted him. And it's only been a week now since we originally adopted him, and so we're switching gears between really just enjoying our sweet boy because he's been nothing but kind to us, to learning what it's like and what we need to do in order to properly socialize him and help him heal from the former abuse that he was experiencing before us. Well, here he is, this big aggressive dog, just being a sweetheart in our arms. It's a very difficult and hard thing to be dealing with, especially when we're getting into this new position as camp host, when we are encountering a lot of people and dogs, obviously, who are staying with us. He's clearly triggered by certain things, and we're attempting to identify them in order to be able to then, properly socialize him in those areas underneath the right conditions around the corner. And we will be looking at a behavioral coach for him when we're in town next on Wednesday. He's clearly wound up. There was an instance of a camper walking by with their dog, and he started to bark at them, and so we took him inside, which we read you're supposed to just take them away from the trigger, and we're going to learn how to properly socialize him here around the corner. So this is a part of adoption that I don't know if we necessarily really thought about or thought we'd even encounter. I mean, I mean, based off our experiences with him, he's just always been a sweet dog. It took about 15 minutes or so for him to really warm up to us when we were meeting him, which was different than other dogs that we had met, but we've really only met a couple dogs to that point in the adoption process. I know he clearly must have had some negative instances while at the Humane Society, during his time with them,
You
and
would have had to.
there's just no indication was given to us about it. And
Yeah. They just said he was afraid of new things, which is under exaggerating the situation.
yeah, we're definitely, I'm not trying to point fingers to the Humane Society, but I feel like a proper animal organization would really have been able to already identify this
Yeah.
and been able to tell us what we'd be encountering. And in no way are we giving up on Gideon, but it's opening up a challenge that we just didn't predict we'd be taking on. We have a disco moose came and visited this weekend.
Yeah,
They've missed us so much already.
I had to come visit.
It's nice to have familiar faces around. I found this butte on our walk this morning.
Smell that?
You guys can bring that back to the farm with you. Wow, my voice just cracked. That's cool. I'm going through this thing called puberty.
I researched it. That is a giant pine cone.
This thing is monstrous.
Wow.
I feel like it's a tree.
Yeah. It's like the largest pine cone I've ever seen, and it's perfect. There's like not one missing piece on it either.
If I put it
Yeah,
in the
you're
ground,
right.
would
It's
it
all
grow?
intact.
Oh.
Dog almost claimed it.
No. He has to share.
Does it smell?
Smells real good.
Does it?
Sounds like it doesn't smell like anything to me.
Wood.
You gotta get the sap.
Well, Disco Moose just said their goodbyes, and they're pulling out. We're gonna see them in a couple weeks. Bye. Monica made me chicken and broccoli because
So
she's the
nice.
best. I was trying to take care of some generator woes here at the campground and work on a water leak with my manager Bob. And Monica did a whole bunch of paperwork.
You don't even know.
So I think it's going smooth.
That's the storage area. Cole's got to grab some supplies.
Well, this is the storage area, but also the water pumps and the generator, which runs off of propane. So, with each site, we double check the reservation tags and update them for the dates that the next campers are going to be arriving. So people that are looking for first time, first serve spots, don't go ahead and take them. And then we come up to the campground and we double check that things aren't completely out of sorts here. So could do some sweeping around here. No trash in the fire pit, which is good. And then we move on to the next site. This is an old site, Site 19, getting an updated tag. And I noticed that there's some fire sticks standing up. And the Forest Service, these shouldn't be used. It has to be less than 28 inches in length to burn. So this has been carved up. So technically this is a no-no. And we want this stuff to stay in nature. To go back to the woods. Tell them.
I didn't bring my gloves.
So now I have to pick up trash. Just be sensible. If you open up a beer bottle,
Throw it away.
throw the cap in the trash.
Omar, you dumbass.
What
you
are
left
you
your
doing, Omar?
firing.
Fire's still going. We're writing on wood and shit.
Louise.
Oh my god, Omar.
Alright, so we're out of pay envelopes.
So each one of these I gotta like half
Oh my
fold over.
God.
This is how these work too. If you're in a national forest area and you're traveling through the country, they'll have
Yeah.
these little fee boxes. These are pretty
Okay.
much all the same everywhere.
We should teach people how to fill these out.
Yeah, you go ahead and just tear this one off, fill out your license, state, campground, date of departure, month,
That's your receipt that you put on your post.
and then that envelope will close with all of your information on it: last name, purchase date, nights you've paid for, your site number, cash or check. And then you also want to dictate additional vehicles, because there's additional fees for vehicles typically. But you put that in the box, and then you put this little tag on your post, and then you're a happy camper. It's that easy. So within like the first week of being here, I put 110 miles on the scooter.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. I mean, it's the most driving, but it's also the nice type of driving because it's low speeds,
Yeah.
and the scooter's kind of like made for that. But yeah, it's pretty crazy. I should probably get a funnel. Well, I'm up at the day use area at Bumping Lake. Get you a couple new views. This is my third 5-gallon bucket fill from only one of the fire pit areas up here. So this is like day use picnicking area, and there are established fire pits for day users up here. But I mean, it's clear that fire service or Forest Service hasn't been really keeping up with the area, which is kind of sad. I know their resources are stretched real thin right now just because of the new government in place with the Trump administration. There's been tons of cutbacks within our national parks and our Forest Service, and then also COVID as well, where this area is technically supposed to be closed, though according to the ranger that I spoke to, it's not closed and not fully open because amenities aren't supposed to be available. So the bathrooms are closed up here, which is causing people to come into our campground and use our restrooms. So yeah, it's a big kind of clusterfuck. I'm trying to help out though and get prepared for the big holiday weekend ahead. And so I'm just emptying out these pits. This is the boat ramp. Always very peaceful up here. Burning some paper trash from the last couple days ahead of any rain that would be coming in. Gonna enjoy this cool afternoon. We warmed up the coffee and just gonna hang out for a bit. Not bad. I think we'll get used to the flow. It's a lot of hours, but
The flow is that there's like no flow, you know what I mean? Like you can do what you can, but then like it's just so different every day, which is good and bad.
I'll take this flow right now. I don't know how much I've mentioned it, but we have to do this ear solution twice a day with him in order to help this ear infection from taking over his whole ear canal right now. And it's not the most enjoyable experience for him nor us, but he's been very good. You know, in no way, shape, or form has he nipped or act aggressively at all to us. I mean,
not even close.
he'll let us do pretty much anything to him. He
Yeah.
drops his ball on command. You can take it right out of his mouth. He hasn't got possessive about food. He's just super under socialized, we're finding, and very fearful and anxious. So
Yeah.
we're going to do our best to keep researching what we can do to help his rehabilitation and change his behavior.
Yeah, and talk to a professional as well, because I personally feel like I can't read enough. I just need some like reassurance from a person who's actually treated dogs like this, you know?
Yeah.
Cooking up some weens.
Little afternoon wiener roasting.
I like a day fire.
Typically don't do just like regular hot dogs because they're kind of disgusting. But I mean, if you go to the baseball game, you're not going to turn down a hot dog.
This isn't a baseball game.
Well, I was going to continue and say if you go camping, you're not going to turn down a roasted wiener over a fire.
Sit. Sit. Stay. Okay. Go get it. Good boy. Good boy.
Oh boy. Well, before any rainfall comes in here, hopefully, we're going to take a quick spin on the scooter and show you the other side of the lake. Ready?
Go for a ride. Wow.
That's the start of the bumping river.
Wow, that's crazy. That is like gushing.
Well, here's the other side of the lake. This is the dam, the reservoir that goes and turns into Bumping River. And then the day use area is back over yonder that way. And the light's just shining through beautifully right now.
Oh, hello, dear.
You zoomed in? Here's a perspective shot for you. Monica, walk up to that pine to your left. Whoa. Look how drippy this tree is.
It's got like icicle.
Whoa. Go ahead, touch that.
No, it's
Just
so
touch it. I just want to see what it does. Touch that little piece.
with a stick.
Okay. Is it hard?
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
Wow.
Like,
Yeah, it's encased.
weird. Wow.
This is the very beginning of Bumping Lake Trail, which is a 5-mile trail. It's probably the most trafficked foot trail near the lake. And we'll definitely be making a separate vlog of the trail when we hike it. Well, I think that's it for a little preview of the camp hosting job that we got and
Yeah.
in some of the beautiful surroundings that we have here to enjoy throughout the summer.
You'll see more.
Peace.
Bye.